Hello everyone and welcome back to our channel. In today's video, we'll be talking about one of the most notorious drug lords in history, Pablo Escobar. Known for his ruthless tactics and extravagant lifestyle, Escobar was a dominant figure in the drug trade in the 80s and early 90s. More than 3 decades after his death, Pablo Escobar remains as well known as he was during his heyday as the head of the Medellin drug cartel. His fixture in popular culture is largely thanks to countless books, movies, and songs. We've decided to make our contribution with a list of facts about the life of the larger-than-life Escobar. Here are 8 facts about Pablo Escobar that will shock you. Number 1. Real life. Robin Hood. Perhaps hoping to win the support of everyday Colombians, Escobar became known for his philanthropic efforts, which led to the nickname Robin Hood. He built hospitals, stadiums, and housing for the poor. He even sponsored local soccer teams. His popularity with many Colombians was demonstrated when he was elected to an alternate seat in the country's Congress in 1982. Alas, 2 years later he was forced to resign after a campaign to expose his criminal activities. The justice minister who led the efforts was assassinated. While it is true that he did give back to the poor, it is important to note that his actions were not always altruistic, and the consequences of his actions were often devastating. One of the reasons why Escobar has been compared to Robin Hood is because he did give back to the poor in his community. He was known to have built homes, schools, and hospitals for those in need. He also provided jobs for many people in his community and helped to stimulate the local economy. It is estimated that he gave away over $500 million to the poor during his lifetime. Number 2. He built his own prison. In 1991, Pablo Escobar was arrested and imprisoned in a jail called La Catedral. However, La Catedral was not an ordinary prison. It was a luxurious complex built to Escobar's exact specifications. Located in the mountains of Antioquia, Colombia, the prison was designed to provide Escobar with a comfortable living space while he served his sentence. La Catedral had a soccer field, a bar, a jacuzzi, and even a waterfall. The prison was also heavily guarded, with Escobar's own men providing security. However, despite the luxurious conditions, the Colombian government was not happy with the situation. They believed that Escobar was continuing to run his drug empire from behind bars, and they suspected that he was receiving special treatment. The prison featured a football field, jacuzzi, and waterfall. Indeed, La Catedral was more a fortress than prison, as Escobar effectively kept his enemies out rather than lock himself in and continued to conduct his grisly business. La Catedral was so extravagant, in fact, that it also boasted an industrial kitchen, a billiards room, several bars with big-screen TVs, and a disco where the drug kingpin actually hosted wedding receptions during his imprisonment. He feasted on stuffed turkey, caviar, fresh salmon, and smoked trout while in the arms of beauty queens. Today, La Catedral is a tourist attraction, drawing visitors who are interested in learning more about Escobar's life and legacy. Number 3. Rubber bands. There was a time when Pablo made $420 million a week. That's more money than most of us will make in our lifetime. He had to spend $2,500 every month on rubber bands alone to handle all that money. That's probably a lot more than any of us would spend on rubber bands in our lifetime. The problem was that Pablo could not simply walk into a bank and deposit $420 million there every week. Thus, the money he made had to be tallied up and stored in deposits and safe houses throughout Colombia. Legends state that there are still stashes of cash buried all over Colombia, but nobody can find them, since the man who hid them is now dead. The money was so much that they were running out of ways to store it, leading to the infamous pictures of huge piles of cash stored in warehouses. The rubber band story has become a legend and a symbol of the extreme wealth and excess of Escobar's drug empire. It is also a reminder of the incredible amount of money involved in the illegal drug trade and the lengths people will go to in order to protect and manage it. Number 4. Tipping pilots millions. Pablo did not keep all the money that he made for himself. He also rewarded his subordinates very handsomely. A pilot was paid $500,000 for a single smuggling trip. That kind of money is enough to set up a person for life. The cocaine was smuggled in old plane tires, and in the early days, no one even cared to go that far to check what a plane was bringing in. When the cocaine pandemic started to bring down the heat on Pablo, he even went as far as to use submarines to smuggle cocaine into America. Pablo did not become successful because he was the first person to think of smuggling cocaine into America. He was successful because he was the best smuggler Colombia had ever seen. Number 5. Pablo loved football. Pablo loved to play football, and there are even a couple of rare clips which show him playing the sport. He became the primary sponsor of a club from his home city, Atlético Nacional. He provided funding to the team to get the best players in Colombia, and the team eventually won the South American Champions League. Pablo's cartel wasn't the only one involved in football. Most major cartels sponsored their own teams, and narcos football was at its peak during the time that Pablo was in power. He allegedly ordered the assassination of a referee who he thought had been bribed by his rival cartels. Say what you want, but I think Pablo took football a little too seriously. Number 6. Purchasing entire island to make smuggling route. Pablo had to purchase an island during his prime because his smuggling route was becoming quite difficult to manage. The island had everything. It had a 1-kilometer airstrip, multiple aircraft, hotels, boats, and even a refrigerated warehouse to store cocaine. The island was one of the most insane displays of wealth the world had seen at the time. The smuggling route remained active for 4 years. It was purchased by a man named Norman Kay on the behalf of the Medellin Cartel. The island was located in the Bahamas. Number 7. He was one of the richest men in the world. Escobar was one of the richest people in the world. However, due to the illegal and secretive nature of his activities, it is difficult to accurately quantify his net worth. Estimates of Escobar's wealth vary widely, with some sources suggesting he was worth as much as $30 billion. However, due to the difficulty of accurately tracking and estimating the value of illegal assets, it is difficult to determine the true extent of his wealth. Additionally, it is important to note that Escobar's wealth was accumulated through illegal means and was responsible for significant harm to countless individuals and communities. Number 8. He was a family man. Pablo Escobar was a family man in the sense that he had a wife, children, and other relatives whom he cared for and spent time with. He used to fulfill each and every desire of his family members. In fact, he used to leave important business meetings to spend time with his family, particularly his wife and children. He was a devoted husband to his wife, Maria Victoria Henao, and they remained married until his death. Escobar was also a doting father who was deeply involved in the lives of his children, often showering them with gifts and affection. However, it is important to note that while Escobar may have had a strong love for his immediate family, his actions and involvement in the illegal drug trade caused immeasurable harm to countless families and communities. Despite this, Escobar was known to be fiercely loyal to his family and was said to have a close relationship with his wife and children. However, his involvement in criminal activities undoubtedly had a significant impact on his family, including the danger and instability that came with being associated with one of the most wanted men in the world. So there you have. Which fact amazed you the most? Let us know in the comment section. That's all for today's video. Thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon for more amazing videos.